Oh man. You see this? You see this? Y'all know what's up. Welcome back to another thrilling edition of Dave Explains Bionicle lore for X amount of time. The first episode was mildly successful, at least for our channel, so we decided to do a part 2 after all. So here we are, and we're going to be covering year 3 of Bionicle, 2003, which has 2 major story arcs, the Borak Call Strike and the Mask of Light sagas. Unlike the last time where we covered the first 2 years, we're just doing the one because 2001 and 2002 had 1 major story arc per year. This one is 2 arcs, so to not make this video 2 hours long, the length of a feature gad-dang film, we're just doing the 1 year. So, we'll see what happens next time because the story for 2004 is significantly longer than this one. But we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're all in due time. All in due time. So, where did we leave off last? The Toa Matsu, I didn't bring any of the pictures I did last time. These are all new pictures, except for like maybe a couple, like one or two, maybe 3. Anyways, the Toa Matsu had just defeated Kadok and Gadok, the queens of the Borak swarms, and had effectively stopped the swarms from destroying the island of Matanui. Almost immediately after their victory, they were plunged into energized protodermis and came out transformed into the Toa Nuva, more powerful versions of themselves. Which is good, because the Great Spirit knows they are going to need it to deal with this new threat of the Borak Call. So, I'm ready to get into this if y'all are ready. Alright? Yeah? Alright, let's do this. The Toa wander back to their respective villages and find that the Matoran are all celebrating the victory. No longer under the control of the Krana and the Barag, the Borak have been reprogrammed to assist in the rebuilding of the island. Both Pohatu, I have my iconic tape dispenser here. I did cut the pictures out this time, so it'll be a little less cluttered, but I figured the tape, the whole taping thing was too funny, too comedic to be left out for episode 2. So you will get to see me doing a lot of taping this time around as well. Don't worry. I know everyone was, they loved the tape. They loved the tape. This tape dispenser is going to be like the iconic part of this show. When we make merch of this show, it's just going to be a shirt with this on it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Okay. So, oh God, that's not how I wanted to start that off. So both Pohatu, again, these are all new forms. They're same characters, new forms. So both Pohatu and Tahu are our good pals from last time. Both of their Nuva symbols appear, which are objects that contain the source of the Toa's elemental powers. Why these weren't really things when they were just the Toa Matsu, I don't know. They never really explained that. Or maybe they did, and I missed it. Both are equally, they're both equal possibilities. I don't care enough to look into it. So while storing Tahus at the Tasuva, which is just basically the storage area, like this is their power, don't let anything happen to it. Vakama, which I have a picture of in here somewhere, but I didn't, it's buried, it's coming later. You'll finally see Vakama, I promised you. I promised you last time. You will see Vakama this time, don't worry. So Vakama tells Tahu of the legendary, oh God, too much tape, but okay. See, we're already getting into the tape. Vakama tells Tahu of the legendary Kanohi Vahi, the Mask of Time. He gives this incredibly powerful mask to Tahu, one of only 3 legendary Kanohi in existence. There's only 3 of them. There's this one and 2 others that we're gonna get to way later. In fact, one of them isn't even super important to the overall plot, but the other one is like the main kind of MacGuffin of the Bionicle story. But it doesn't come in until 2006, so don't worry about it right now. Yeah. So he tells them to use it only in emergencies. So after checking on their villages, the Toa meet up again to play around with their new abilities and decide that now that they're way more powerful, and they can defend the Matoran and their island much better than they could before. They don't need to work as a team. Go away, go do your own thing. And Golly's like, this is probably a really bad idea, but go off, I guess. And the Toa split. They go to their respective villages and, they do their own thing. It is probably the absolute worst time to do this because the Bohrok Kal awaken. These are very different from the Bohrok we learned about last time. And I will tell you. The Bohrok Kal, there they are. 6 elite sentient Bohrok. That's the key difference here. They're sentient. They're not robots like the original Bohrok were. Created with the express purpose of freeing the Balrog and getting the cleansing of Mata Nui back on track. They learn that to free the queens, they need the Nuva symbols, which will act as a key to their protodermis cage. All right. Well, Leiwa's in there somewhere. He'll show up. While Leiwa is showing off his newfound ability to fly, which, come to think of it, his mask is now kind of useless. Because his mask, the Miru, is the mask of levitation. If flight is just part of his repertoire now, he doesn't need his mask power at all. It's totally useless. Whatever. So while Leiwa is showing off his newfound ability to fly, Galak Kal, which is the Bohrok Kal of magnetism, that's right. The Bohrok Kal have different abilities than their normal brethren. Magnetism. You can see they look pretty much exactly the same as the regular Bohrok, which I think was kind of controversial when the sets came out, because it's like, oh, these are just recolored Bohrok. That's boring. What a ripoff. I didn't have either the Bohrok or the Bohrok Kal. I got into Bionicle in 2004, so it never really mattered to me. Anyways, Galak Kal steals Leiwa's Nuva symbol, cutting off his elemental ability, causing him to fall right from the sky. I guess now his mass power would be kind of useful, huh? But he's saved by Kongu, fortunately. Nuvak Kal, the Bohrok Kal of gravity. I always liked this one the best. I like how his shields look. Look how his shields look. There we are. See? Can't really see it from there, but they look cool. Nuvak Kal steals Kopaka's Nuva symbol, despite the best efforts of our good pal Matoro, who was tasked with guarding it. Man, some important character Matoro is, huh? Don't you talk trash about Matoro. I guess I'm the one doing it. Whatever. So Jaller and Takua, who I do have pictures of here. You guys remember Jaller and Takua? You guys remember Jaller and Takua. They were... And Jaller wasn't all that important back then. But Takua was. Takua was. And I promised you guys last time that, oh, that's the wrong side. I promised you guys that Takua and Jaller would be important later, and they absolutely will be. So Jaller and Takua, on their way back from Takoro, from the final song Gakoro during the Bohrok War, they arrive just in time to see Tanak Kal. Ow, I almost cut myself on the serration on the tape. Tanak Kal. Sealing Tahu's Nuva symbol. Tahu arrives just in time to stop it, but the Bohrok Kal uses its power of electricity against the powerless Tahu and easily overpowers him. Onua's symbol is taken by Levak Kal, the Bohrok Kal of vacuum. I remember he was, I think in the more minute details of the story, it's vacuum. You can just suck the air out of the room, suffocate someone. Heavy stuff. Anyways, yeah, so Onua's symbol is taken by Levak Kal, and Golly's is taken by Tanak Kal. So now all 6 Toa are pretty much powerless. All their elemental abilities gone. They don't exist. They just their weapons are kind of just big hunks of metal now. I mean, I guess Tahus are still swords. You can still use them as swords. They're just kind of blunt weapons now, I guess. Oh well. Anyways, so the Toa regroup and to discuss their next plan of action and end up running into all 6 Borak Kal, who, once again, easily overpowered them. So the Toa split up. I'm going to kind of clear the way here. I should have written what's what on the back here. That may have been helpful. So like when I have to put things back up on the board, I don't have to like go through each and every one. That may have been helpful, whatever. So the Toa split up. Kopaka that's the bottom. Kopaka, Lewa. See, I told you guys I had these pictures. They just weren't at the ready when I needed them first. But I guess I didn't really need them. So Kopaka, Lewa, and Tahu. That's team 1. They go after the Borak Kal, while Pohatu, Onua. Fun fact, Onua was the only one of the Toa Nuva sets I had as a kid. Because again, I didn't get into Bionicle until 2004. So 2 years after Onua came out. So Pohatu, Onua, and Gali, they're team 2, team B, whichever one I said. They venture down into the Borak nest to see if the Barog are still trapped down there, all the while searching for their new Kanohi Nuva. Without their elemental powers, they're going to need something to defend themselves, right? So Kopaka finds his Hao Nuva and almost gets Pohatu killed in the process. Wenua takes Onua to find his Kaukau Nuva, guarded by 2 Manus, but Onua breaks a wall, letting a flow of lava in, grabs the mask. Easy, easy, easy stuff. Hali tells Nokama about Gali's lack of elemental powers, so Nokama sends Gali to an underwater cave and searches for Kakama Nuva. In the cave, Gali finds carvings of 6 mysterious Toa, noting that one of them looks a little bit like Nokama. Well, I wonder what that's about. Maybe we'll get into it this time. But we'll mention it briefly, but we won't get into it. That'll be for 2004. Patience. So she gets the mask. She pulls a flash, vibrating her molecules fast enough that she passes right through the wall of the cave. So that should give you an estimate of how much powerful the Nuva masks are compared to the regular base versions of them. She asks Nokama about the carvings, and Nokama's like, "Listen, man, I'm a Turaga, not a dang Toa. What the heck are you talking about?" So she meets up with Tahu and Kopaka, and the 3 of them search for more masks in a canyon called the Place of Shadow. The ground crumbles. They fall in to a cavern joined by the other Toa, and for some reason, Vakama. There he is. See, I told you we'd see Vakama. Vakama is all, oh, yeah, that's right. There's something down here. I'm pretty sure there's something down here. And they come face to face with the Rahi Nui, a terrible chimera Rahi created by Pterodax. There's no picture of the Rahi Nui because no picture of the Rahi Nui exists in any form. It's got the stinger of a Nui Jaga, and that's about all I remember. It's just a bunch of different. It's a chimera, like I said. It's a chimera Rahi. It's comprised of different pieces of different Rahi, but there's no picture of it. Vakama is the only one to ultimately outsmart it, somehow knowing exactly how to defeat it. I wonder what's up with that. Why does he know exactly how to defeat it? It's almost like he confronted that thing before. Isn't it now? Later, Kopaka, Lewa, and Gali merge once more into Werua Nuva this time, which I don't have a picture of because I couldn't really find a great picture of Werua Nuva online. The combiner sets don't have official promotional images like these. They just have the instruction manual versions, which are kind of boring to look at and not all. They're not a good representation of how the character is actually supposed to look. And the one image I found from the comic, which you'll see one of them, it wasn't a very good picture, so I don't have a picture of Weru Nua. Sorry. Anyways, they merge into Weru Nua and attempt to defeat Levak Kal, but oh man, the Toa are not the only ones capable of merging into Kata. What? That's some crazy stuff, because Levak Kal joins up with Korak Kal, which is the Borak Kal of magnetism, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. I hope no, Sonics. That's what it was. Galak Kal is the magnetism. Korak Kal is the Borak Kal of Sonics. To form the Borak, so this is a mouthful. Borak Kal Kata Ja. There we go. So Werua gets his butt kicked. I'm not really sure what the pronouns are for a fused being. There are 3 of them in there, but they refer to Werua as he in the story. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm not sure. Whatever. It's not really that important. So Onua and Pohatu managed to outsmart Tanak Kal, but it's Krana Kal informs them that it's too late and that the Barag have been found. The Toa regroup, tracking the Borak Kal to the Barag's lair. They find the Exo Toa, those cool mech suits that they had in the final battle against the Barag last time around. They're running on autopilot, fighting the Borak Kal, but they're quickly destroyed because the Borak Kal are just too dang powerful. Nothing scares them. Anyways. At this point, so close to the end of their mission, the Borak Kal have actually become impervious to physical damage. That's not really explained all that well in the story. It's the kind of thing you just gotta roll with it. Gotta roll with it. Leave it as is. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. They raise the Nuva symbols into the Nuva cube, ready to release the Barag. All hope seems lost. But to Tahu, great Toa Nuva of fire. He sees this. Where is it? No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Where is it? There it is. He sees this. He sees this, the Borak Kal about to achieve their mission. The Barag are about to reawaken, or not be reawakened, be freed. He sees this and he's like, you know, this seems like an emergency. Donning the Mask of Time, the Vahi, he uses its immense power to freeze time around the Borak Kal, buying some time for the other Toa. Gali calls on them to push their elemental power out of the symbols and into the Borak Kal. The Borak Kal's own powers get overloaded, backfiring on them completely, destroying them. The Barag remain sealed away, and the Toa regain their elemental powers. So to celebrate, the Turaga hold a naming day to honor those Matoran who laid their lives on the line against both the Rahi and the Borak. So it's mostly just the spellings of the names that get changed. The pronunciations stay the same. So Jalar, who was initially named Jala, spelled J-A-L-A, is now J-A-L-L-E-R. Maku, who was M-A-K-U, becomes M-A-C-K-U. Puki, who was... I spelled it wrong on my little script here. That's what tripped me up. Huki, who was spelled H-U-K-I, is now H-E-W-K-I-I, etc., etc., etc. I think those are really the only ones who get renamed, but I think it was initially something to do with the fact that Bionicle had borrowed words from the Maori language, and they had to redub some things so they wouldn't like offend the Maori people. Like the Matoran were originally called Tahunga, which I believe is just the word for villager in Maori, and they changed that. But some things they left, like Wenua is like the word for earth, but they never changed his name. I don't know. So in addition to the naming day, the Turaga also rebuild the Matoran with more powerful bodies to help to better defend themselves against potential threats. They also announced a Koli match a Coley championship match. So everyone's joining in. The Turaga meet to discuss whether or not they should tell the Toa about their past, figuring it may hurt them more than help them if they continue to keep the secrets of the past, secret. So Jollar interrupts this meeting. Where's Jollar? There's Jollar. The new, improved version of Jollar. New name-ish, new body. There he is. See, look at that. Again, can we get a comparison somewhere? Where's my old picture of Jollar? That's Takua. Look at that. See? New body. Look at this. Look at this big, strong man. You think this guy can defend? Can fight? I mean, I guess he fought in the Borak War. It's whatever. Anyways, so Jollar interrupts this meeting, asking the Turaga if they've seen Takua as there to be the team representing Takoro in the Coley match. The Turaga say, God, I don't know what to tell you, man. Haven't seen him. He hasn't really been important to the story this year so far, so I don't know what he's doing. So Jollar leaves in search of Takua, who, again, like I promised, he's going to be very important, as is Jollar. This is it. This is the one. And the Turaga agree that after the Coley match, they will tell the Toa everything. And now, to pick up with the Mask of Light saga, here's the entirety of the film Bionicle Mask of Light. Enjoy. Did you get all that? No? Man, you guys suck. Are you really gonna have to make me explain all this? You want me to take another 20 minutes to explain the Mask of Light story? Really? You couldn't just watch the movie? Oh, God. All right, fine. So Jollar finds Takua. Let me get the mask, some of the stuff out of here. Jollar finds Takua in a volcanic chamber, investigating a mysterious totem. There's Takua. See, he's rebuilt too. Picking it up from the pedestal, Takua has clearly never seen Raiders of the Lost Ark. It triggers an earthquake, causing him to drop the totem, rolls downhill into a river of lava. Wow, that just sucks, huh? Should have known better. Disappointed that his discovery has been lost, both Matoran are surprised when a mysterious shining Kanohi mask floats up to the surface of the river. Let me get a picture of that for you guys, because it's. I mean, you know what the title of the story is. It's probably not that hard to figure it out. There's the mask. Takua retrieves the mask. I keep losing my place on my script here. I'm sorry, guys. But you know what? We got to keep that chaotic energy from the first video going. I already feel like it's not as chaotic as the last one, so I got to do something to keep it chaotic. You know, I got to keep y'all on your toes. So Takua retrieves the mask, throws it to Jollar so he can get back across the river himself to safety. He's not quick enough, as a massive wave of lava is heading straight for him. Luckily, Tahu arrives just in time to save the Chronicler. He tells the Matoran to bring the mask to Vakama after the Coley match is over. Specifically, after they win the Coley match. Because, again, Tahu's a bit of a hothead. He's proud. He wants his village to be the best. Unfortunately, Takoro loses the match, not even managing to score a single point, mostly due to Takua trying out a new move and failing miserably. When all the players bow at the end of the game, the mask falls out of Takua's backpack, revealing its existence to everyone. It shines brightly on Takua, but he doesn't really want that responsibility anymore. You know, he's been kind of a leader throughout the first couple of years. He doesn't want any more responsibility. He's done with it. I understand. He's tired of it. I would be too. So he tilts the mask towards Jaller, and it shines on him instead. The Turaga explained this is the Kanohi Avoki, the Mask of Light, and that by finding it, Jaller is the herald of the 7th Toa. Meanwhile, Pterodax, who has been pretty quiet since his defeat at the hands of the Toa, learns of the coming of the 7th Toa and is eager to stop it. He summons 3 Rakshi. These guys are cool. These were among one of my, I think one of these, well, not these 3, one of the later 3. I'll say which one. The Rakshi was one of my first ever Bionicle sets, I believe. Anyways, he summoned 3 Rakshi. Lerak, Rakshi of Poison. I always liked him the best, mostly because of his story significance, which I'll talk about in a second. Because he's kind of the only one that single-handedly affects the story, I guess. Panrak, Rakshi of Fragmentation. And Gurak, Rakshi of Disintegration. I should mention that the Rakshi themselves are not named. They're types. So this is a Lerak. Lerak are Rakshi of Poison. It's like they're not a species. They're kind of like the Borak. In fact, in that they're suits of armor controlled by these creatures called Krata, which are kind of made from Makuta, the Makuta species themselves. I can't remember exactly the physiology of it. It's not really important though. Anyways, so yeah, they're not named. Those are just what those specific types of Rakshi are called. So he sends those 3 Rakshi to stop Takua and Jaller and basically get the mask. You know, Pterodax is a being of shadow. What's the one thing a being of shadow wouldn't want? A being of light. Exactly. You guys are smart. Okay, so the Toa, meanwhile, have gone their separate ways to spread word of the 7th Toa's coming. Gali has gone, that's not Gali, that's Gurak. I took Gali down, oh well. Gali has gone to Kini Nui to meditate, but the temple explodes as the Rakshi emerge and quickly overpower the Toa of Water. She rushes to Takoro to warn them of the creatures, but not quickly enough because the Rakshi arrive and they lay waste to Takoro in an effort to find Jaller and Takua. Realizing it's a lost cause, Gali organizes an evacuation of the village, while Tahu holds them off. I probably should put Gali back up here, honestly. I should get rid of the Borak cogs. They're not important anymore, huh? Let me do that. Mas Vahi's not really all that important either. Neither is old Takua. Okay, I think we're... Oh, there's some over here. I got really confused. Okay. It's like, where did all the other Toa go? All right. Gali. There we go. Okay. God. Gali organized an evacuation. Locked in combat with Lerak. Tahu is scratched by the creature's poison staff. Seizing the moment, Lerak plunges its staff into the ground, reducing the entirety of Takoro to rubble, sinking the entire village into the lava, and leaves the other Rakshi having not found any trace of Takua, Jaller, or the Avoki. They being Jaller and Takua, along with Takua's pet muscle crab Puku, who I believe also was honored on naming day. Her name was originally Puku, it's now Pewku. Not that that's important. They've already made it as far as Lewahi and are attacked by an ash bear, but are thankfully saved by... I'm just gonna put this there with them because they have them. It makes sense. They're saved by Lewa. He flies Takua and Jaller all the way up to the cliffs of Kowahi, where he hears the drums of Lekoro informing him of Takoro's demise. Jaller, as captain of the guard of Takoro, he feels responsible for his destruction. You know, he wasn't there when they needed defending. So he wants to go back. He wants to abandon his quest, the quest to find the seventh Toa, and go back to help Takoro. He and Takua actually get in a fight over whose duty it is to find the seventh Toa, but Leiwa assures them that they both have a duty to the Great Spirit. He promises Jaller that he will go check on the Tamatoran as soon as he can. Jaller thanks him, and both he and Takua continue on their journey through the frozen wastes into... Who do you think they run into in Kauai? They run into Kopaka, of course. Who else? Leiwa arrives in Tawahi. I don't know why I put Leiwa down again. Whatever. Leiwa arrives in Tawahi, so those three are together, and meets up with Gali and Tahu, as the latter is mourning the loss of his village. The scratch on his mask inflicted by Lerok isn't looking too good, and Gali attempts to get closer to inspect it, but Tahu brushes her off more angrily than usual. Definitely does not sound good. So Kopaka, Jaller, and Takua run into the three Rakshi, the creatures having finally found their prey, but Kopaka makes quick work of them, trapping them in a frozen lake. Puku makes her triumphant return, because, you know, Leiwa flew the Matoran up a cliff. Also, crabs are big. These two were riding on the crab. Leiwa's strong, he's a Toa, but he ain't that strong. So, yeah, she makes her triumphant return, proving to be a loyal pet to Takua, and as Kopaka escorts them the rest of the way to Onokoro, Jaller and Takua get separated. Navigating his way through the darkness, Takua, I should show them that they're separated. There we go. Separated, there. Takua is confronted by a spectral pterodax, warning him that if the Evoki is not delivered to him, Jaller will die. When they finally find each other, Takua, I was about to put them back together, but they're about to separate again. When they finally find each other, Takua leaves Jaller to continue the search for the seventh Toa by himself. That is, Jaller to continue the search. Takua's done. He doesn't want any more of it. Meanwhile, Pterodax then decides to replace his three currently lost Rakshi with another three. Yeah, these guys are frozen. They'll be back though, don't worry. I gotta get some new Rakshi. More toys for parents to buy their kids. Terok, the Rakshi of fear. It's gonna fall. Kurok, the Rakshi of anger, which, there it is. That's the one. That was my first ever Bionicle set, was Kurok. I got two. One of them was that, and then one of them was one of the, well, I'm not gonna say. It's a spoiler for the next episode. Yeah, so Turok, Rakshi of fear, Kurok, Rakshi of anger, and Vorok, Rakshi of hunger. I blanked for a second there. So Terek sends him after the mask. So Kopaka arrives at Kopaka. Who don't we need up here? We don't need these guys. Kopaka arrives at Pokoro to meet with the other Toa, but is ambushed by all six Rakshi. The other three have broken out of the ice by now. Thankfully, I'm bringing these guys back up again. Tahu, Gali, and Leiwa arrive just in time to save them, but Kurok uses its power of anger to cause Tahu and Gali to argue, while Panrak and Gurok bring the mountain down to the Toa and make their escape while the heroes are occupied with saving their own skins. Takua arrives in Onokoro just as Pohatu is spreading the news of... Where's Pohatu? Is this Pohatu? That's Pohatu. Yeah, let's get this guy. Actually, no. These guys aren't important. They will be, but not right now. Pohatu is still spreading the news of the search for the seventh Toa, and he questions Takua why he's alone. You know, you were part of this journey. What happened? Where's Jaller? Where's the mask? What's going on, man? Takua informs the Toa of Stone, as well as Onua, he's there too, because it is Onukoro, about the existence of the Rakshi, just in time for Turok Vorok, and Kurok to arrive in the village. Onua buries them in an earthquake, but they don't stay down for long and make quick work of the Toa. Tahu and Gali arrive to help. I'm just putting them over him, I don't care. While Lewa helps Takua escape. And let me tell you guys, Tahu is not looking good. Between Lerok's poison abilities and Kurok's anger abilities, he straight up turns on his fellow Toa and attempts to kill Gali before Kopaka arrives and freezes him in place. Hey, all the Toa are there. So they take Tahu to Lewahi, and where they work together to heal Tahu, bringing him back to sanity. Cool part about that is, in the story, because of I don't have with Lerok, because it's green and poison. That's the color of poison-ish. They did a cool thing where if you bought the 4-pack of all 4 Bionicle Chronicles books, it would come with an infected Haunuva to, like, you know, visualize that when you're playing. There were 4 different versions. It was all just various, like, patterns of poison. It was really cool. I have one. I don't know where it is. Not that it matters, because I never had Tahu Nuva, but I still have it. I should have brought it. I should have brought it to bring in. I need, like, actual Bionicle sets to bring in to, like, better visualize things. But I feel like that might, even if I had any, I have some, but they're all, like, in pieces in various bins in my attic. But I feel like it would just evolve into me, like, smashing action figures together like a child. But, you know, maybe that would add to the chaotic nature of this show. I don't know. Anyways, by this point, Takua links back up with Jollar. I'm getting all these Toa down out of there. Get out of there. Oh, hold on. You need the Avaki front and center as well. Avoki. I always used to say Avaki. I'm trying to get out of it. So yeah, they link back up. Takua apologizes to Jollar for leaving. They make their way to Kini Nui, where they are convinced they will finally find the 7th Toa. But they find themselves surrounded by all 6 Rakshi. This is going to be this is going to be something. This is really going to be something, me trying to visualize this. Okay. All right. Bear with me. Bear with me. I'm going to do this as best as I can. Okay. Put you there. Okay. So they're surrounded by all 6 Rakshi. Thankfully, it's not long until all 6 Toa arrive to defend Matoran. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. You can't even see Jollar. You're about to not even see Takua. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, God. That's not even the... Get out of here. Yeah, all 6 Toa arrived to defend them. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought it looked, but it is still kind of bad. Finally, after all this time, working together as a team to defeat them. In the heat of battle, Turok attempts to kill Takua, but Jollar takes the hit and dies, but not before telling his friend, "You know who you are." All right. Y'all ready? We've established Takua as a hero in the last episode, and that is about to come to fruition. As Jollar dies, thus fulfilling Pterodax's promise to Takua, Takua realizes his destiny and puts the Evoki on. All right, now I gotta, like, take these down because I need the. Jollar's dead. Goodbye, Jollar. I don't know why I took the mask down. Oh, God. Takua puts on the Evoki and becomes... Oh, God. Come on. And becomes whatever. Takanuva, Toa of Light. I told you he was going to be important. You didn't believe me. Takanuva destroys the Rakshi, but not before taking the Kratok and throwing them out, and takes Jollar's lifeless body to give him a proper send-off and burial. He builds the Usanui out of the Rakshi parts and places one of the Krata inside, using it to travel into Kinyanui and into Mangaya to finally face off against Pterodax. Hali has stowed away. I couldn't really find that great a picture of. That's a lie. That's a straight up lie. I just forgot to print out a picture of Hali. I was thinking about the picture of Hali I was gonna print of before she was rebuilt. But there are plenty of pictures of Hali after she was rebuilt. So I don't have an excuse for me not forgetting a picture of Hali. I straight up do not have an excuse. I straight up just forgot. I'm sorry. Hali stows away because now that, Takanuva, formerly Takua, is a Toa, he can't act as a chronicler, so we need a new chronicler. And that's Hali. Hali's the new chronicler. And she's got to document this battle between the Toa of Light and Pterodax, this being of shadow. So Pterodax, let's get a picture of Pterodax up there. He ain't looking like a Matoran or a void of vortex of shadow any longer. Here we go. There's Pterodax. This was also I had this set as a kid too. This set rocked. Let me tell you, I loved this set. I wish I still had this all together. It was such a cool set. I loved it. So Pterodax challenges Takanuva to a game of Koli for the fate of Matanui. That's like if Captain America challenged Thanos to a soccer game or something. I don't know. I'm trying to keep it relevant to greater popular culture. Does that work? It works in my book. You get the point. Anyways, Hali goes back up to the surface to tell the gathered Matoran, Toa, and Turaga of the battle and urges them to come bear witness. At the behest of Takanuva, by the way. He tells her to go get everyone. As the crowd gathers, Pterodax launches the ball at the entrance, sealing everyone inside Mangaya. Takanuva leaps at him, performing the same move he did at that first Koli match I almost said the beginning of the movie. But because you guys didn't watch the movie. You were like, oh, that was too quick. I couldn't make anything out. I couldn't hear the dialogue. I couldn't get the story. That's on you. That's a you problem. He performs the move he did at the Koli Championship match and actually succeeds. The ball hits Pterodax square in the chest, launching him backward into the wall. As the Makuta gets up, Takanuva leaps onto him, attempting to wrench free the Konoe Krakan, which is the Mask of Shadows, from his face. During the struggle, the two fall into a pool of energized protodermis, that very same substance that transformed the Toa Mata into the Toa Nuva. With bated breath, the Matoran wait to see who will rise from the pool. And it ends up being both of them, fused into a single being called Takuta Nuva. Again, Pterodax was still only referred to as Makuta at the time, so it may have been something closer to Tekeradax. I don't know. That was the best I could come up with. He lifts the heavy gate in Mangaya that allows entry into... Well, we just don't know yet, do we? We're about to find out. Well, maybe we won't find out. It was alluded to earlier. I'm going to allude to it now. But they lift up the gate. And just as Hali passes through the gate, Takuta Nuva sacrifices some of his life energy to revive Jallar. Because Hali was carrying around Jallar's... Did I throw the picture of Jallar on the ground? I may have. No, it's right there. So he sacrificed to revive Jallar because Hali was carrying Jallar's mask around with her because they were friends. They were all really good friends, and she wanted to keep something of his to remember him by if they were leaving Matanui, which they are. So yeah, the effort unfortunately weakens Takuta Nuva, and he succumbs to the weight of the gate, with only the Evoki being left over. The gate slams shut, and all that comes skidding out is just the mask. Vakama takes the Mask of Light, leads Hali to a symbol of the three virtues, which I don't have this time, but it was the symbol I had right in the middle of the board on the first episode that really served no purpose other than just being in the way of everything. He puts the mask, so he takes Hali, puts her on the symbol for unity, Jala to the symbol of duty, and the Evoki to on the symbol for destiny, which somehow, not really sure how, revives Takanuva just like that. The gate opens. It reveals the great city of Metru Nui, and Vakama tells the Toa that they were not the first Toa. Boom! And that is the end of the 2003 storyline for Bionicle. You want to run down some sets? I want to run down some sets. Let's do it. Small box sets, the rebuilt Matoran. We've got Kopik, Matoro, Hali, Huki, Hafu, and Maku. Medium-sized canister sets. God, I'm talking too fast. We got the Borak Call, so Nuvak Call, Tanak Call, Korak Call, Levak Call, Parak Call, and Galak Call. And the Rakshi. Panrak, Kurak, Lerak, Gurak, Vorak, and Turak. Larger box sets, we got Makuta. Again, this was still what Pterodax referred to until about 2006, 2007. Jalar and Gukko, which is the bird that helped Lewa fly them up to Kauai. He only carried Takua with him. He put Jalar on a bird. Takua and Puku, and Takanuva, who was also, he came with the Asanui, because otherwise he would have just been a normal canister set. They also released Takuta Nuva as a set on its own, but if you had both Makuta and Takanuva, you could just combine the two, like the instructions were included on both those to combine them into the one. Though, I didn't put this on my script, but I just remembered, Takuta Nuva included a movie version of the Kanoi Krakon, the Mask of Shadows. So, where's my picture of Pterodax? So this mask looks almost nothing like the one in the movie. The other ones, they were modeled, the CGI models were modeled after those, but Pterodax specifically, the mask looks nothing like it. So if you bought Takuta Nuva, it came with a movie version of the mask. It was a version of this, but the way that set worked, the head you could swivel around. You could have that cool kind of sloping mask, or you could turn his head up and have it as a more like traditional Kanohi for other characters. But the movie version had the face sculpted like the one in the movie. It was really cool. It's a really rare piece because not many of them were made. For collectibles, there were the Krata, which controlled the Rakshi, and the Krana Call. The Kanoi Nuva were there somewhere too. I don't actually remember. Whatever. There was also a promotion in Belgium where any purchased Borak Call set came with a FICO Spider, which could also be built, albeit in a different color, using the Master Builder set from the previous year. Okay, good God, that was Bionicle 2003 in one video. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, tell us that we're doing a good job, that you like this video. I like doing it. I assume Howard likes editing it. Probably not. But point is, these are really fun to do for me, at least. It's gonna get, from this point on, it's gonna get way more insane because the story gets, they flesh the story out a lot more in the years to come. So these videos, if we do a video on 2004, it might end up being 2 parts. We'll see. It all depends on how long my little script goes for. This one and the one before ended up being about 8 pages, and that was about an hour of recording-ish. But we'll see whenever we get around to doing 2004. I want to give a special shout out to Duck Bricks on YouTube because his 9-hour video on Bionicle lore kind of inspired me to do these videos. I forgot to mention that on the last one, but I didn't. I'm sorry. And we also want to give a special shout out to the Biomedia Project for putting the entirety of Bionicle Mask of Light in this video. Thanks, guys. With that, I am David. So long. Bye.